All right, let's go ahead and get started. So first off, I am at the non-logged in page of travel42. On this page, I have two options. I can register now or I can sign in. If you click register now, that will pull up the free trial form that you fill out to set up your free 7-day trial. The code is up here at the top, so if you want to recommend Travel42 to any of your colleagues, please let them know they can try it out for free for 7 days by using code T42-7FT and filling out this information. Otherwise, if you already have a subscription, you're going to click sign in up here in the upper right corner. Now, I do have my browser that remembers my user ID and password, so I don't have to type it in each time. Sometimes it's beneficial to type it in each time just so you don't forget what that password is. But if you do, you can always click forgot password right here. So I'm going to go ahead and sign in. And this will take us to our dashboard. That's the home page of Travel42. And while we're waiting, I'm going to go through the site, of course, and show you everything that I can about Travel42 in the time that we're allotted. Towards the end of the webinar, I will have a question and answer period. So if you can think of anything that you would like to ask, please type it into the chat box and I'll try to get to it at the end. If it's more of a pricing question, or something specific, excuse me, to you, I can definitely reach out to you offline. I will provide my email as well as my phone number once the webinar is done, so you can take that down as well. And also at the bottom of the page, we do have a contact us portion. If you click on that, it will pull up kind of a form that you can fill in so you can type in any questions that you might have. And it'll also give us the URL of the page you're referring to. So if it's something that pertains to that page, click the contact us on that page so you can reach out to us directly. So this is the dashboard. I'm going to focus on the top first, and then we'll go down to what is included in the dashboard. So obviously, anytime you need to go back to the dashboard, you're going to click on this dashboard up in the upper left-hand corner. That will take you right back here from any page that you are on within Travel42. News and alerts is just that. A way for us to get to you the recently updated destinations, hotels, travel alerts, and then blogs from our sister products, Travel Age West, Travel Weekly, and Travel Pulse. So anytime you need to see what's updated within Travel42, IntelliGuide, or our sister products, check out that news and alerts tab. We also provide restriction information powered by Sherpa, which will allow you to figure out what your client needs to travel from one destination to the next and then back home again. You can also research and purchase e-visa information right within Travel42 by clicking on e-visa. That'll pull up a separate tab and you can input your passport information and then traveling to, and then if you need a visa. If you do, it will allow you to purchase it right within that Sherpa website. We're going to go back to Travel42, which, like I said, it did open another tab. Then we have our help tab. This is very important to keep open just in case you ever get stuck while you're in Travel42. It does open up another tab. So literally, if you want to click help as soon as you get logged in, that way it's always there. Wonderful. If you have a question about anything, you can type it in the search bar. If you want to look at some getting started articles or some upcoming webinars, which of course we're on the webinar for today, you'll also see a demo of the new Travel42 here under on-demand webinars. We have frequently asked questions and tips and tricks, travel recommendations, and then support and troubleshooting. So if something's not working right on the website or you notice you're getting an error message, try here just to see if maybe our question or the question is answered here as to what to do next. I'm going to go back to the Travel42 tab, and then we have our profile, account, and sign out over here to the right. I'm not going to click on account. Account is literally just that. It goes into your account information. So account will say your payment information, your payment plan, when your next renewal date is, what your user ID and password is. And if you're the account administrator over a group account, it will show you who all is under that group account. So you can add and remove users as needed if you are a group. Profile, this is a very important tab, and I am going to go into this. So profile is where your business card lives. I'll be talking about the business card when we create trip plans. That is basically the information that is shared to your travelers, your clients, anybody you send or print information to, whether it be an email, a PDF, or you're going to copy the URL for a trip plan, this is the information that's going to show if you want it to. And I'll show you how to hide it as well if you do not want to show your information. You can add your headshot and your logo, and then any contact information you would like to add. Preferences is just that, your preferences when navigating the Travel42 site. So if you want to include your business card on every trip plan, make sure this is checked. If you don't, make sure it's unchecked. If you want to include the cover photo, which every trip plan will have a cover photo, and that's either picked by you if you upload or link an image into the trip plan. If you don't want the cover photo, you can uncheck this here, and going forward, each trip plan will not include that cover photo if that's unchecked. Include printed trip summary, so that's the table of contents. So all of these can be edited so that going forward, any trip plans you create will have or not have that information. Just be sure to save profile. Suggested retail price, I believe normally it says $29.95. Some agents do use that. That's basically what the cost of this information you're providing them would normally cost. Most agents don't charge that, but some agents do use it different ways, meaning some agents, instead of the cost of the information, it would be the cost of the trip. I deleted it from mine. So you can do that as well, or you can add a price point that you feel is better for your clients to see. Agent comments header and report comments. So if you want any comments going forward on all trip plans, you would put the header here, and then any report comments you want to add down here. Totally up to you what you want to add, and you can always come back to the preferences and add more information going forward. Now, all of these preferences make it easier for you to navigate the site and quicker for you to navigate the site. So I highly recommend going through them because it will come in handy when you're doing your trip plans. This is items that will already be pre-checked when you get to a destination or a hotel. So the hotel overview, the location, the recreation, star review, restaurants on site, etc. All of this information will be pre-checked to make it easier for you to send, print, or create a trip plan with. So if there's something that you never want to share with your clients, such as rates and policies, you can remove that so that when you get to that destination or hotel, excuse me, this is the hotel. When you get to the hotel that you're looking to share with your clients, it won't be checked so that when you add it to a trip plan or send the information, it will not share that information with your clients. Same with ships, same with cruise, and same with destinations. So this is just a way for it to make it easier for each destination and hotel you visit. Now, you can always edit information when you actually get to the destination or hotel, and I'll show you that here in a moment as well. Email, you can edit the subject of the emails that are sent out from Travel42 to your clients. You can copy yourself on any trip plans you send out or any information you send out, and then a personal message and a closing. Each of those items you can edit as well. Now, this one comes in handy, especially for me, the hotels. How do you want them sorted? Do you like to see the higher star rated hotels first, go down to the lower star hotels? Do you want it sorted alphabetically, where you see the A hotel names first and then Z last? Do you want to see it sorted by amenity rating, by rate, city, commission, or distance? So it's up to you. I like seeing it by star rating because I want to see the higher star rated hotels first. But if you want to see it, say, by distance to that destination, you can do it by distance so you know how close or far it is away from the destination you're looking into. So I'm going to keep my star rating there. Same with cruise. Do you want to see the cruise name, which would list it from alphabetical order, the departure date, cruise class, departure port, line, ship, length, shortest to longest, longest to shortest, price high to low, or price low to high? All of these can be changed at any time and will affect trip plans and information going forward whenever you change them. So that is preferences. I'm going to go back to my dashboard. I'm not going to save any of my changes because I want to keep everything the same. So all of that information is up here at the top, and you'll always see this header whenever you navigate. This search bar is the same. You can search for destinations, you can search for hotels, you can search for cruises in this search bar. Now let's look into researching travel. So that's the next section. So research travel by browsing destinations, by searching for destination guides, by searching for hotels, by seeing a full list of all hotels and then searching by cruise. So cruise destination, cruise line, cruise ship, cruise length, cruise dates, departure port. You can also browse by line and ship and browse by cruise destination. So let's start by researching. I'm going to show you a little bit of what each one has to offer. So let's go ahead and click Browse Destinations. I'm going to click on the United States, and then we are going to go into Florida. That's where Cruise World is held every year, and GTM, which will be going on this year. So Florida, you'll see your related destination guide. So if you want to actually dive into a city within Florida, this is where they would populate. You'll notice some check boxes over here to the right. This is how you add those destinations in their entirety to a trip plan. So if I were to check this checkbox, a trip modal would pop up. I can then add it to a recently created or edited trip or create a new trip plan to add that information to. As I mentioned earlier, the benefit of a trip plan is that you can add multiple destinations, multiple hotels, multiple cruises into one trip plan, whereas quick sending or quick printing information is just one destination, one hotel, or one cruise. And I'll show you more about trip plans here in just a moment. First, though, I want to go into the guide. So you'll notice at the top, I have 3 different tabs. I'm on the related tab right now, so I'm seeing all the destinations related to Florida. If I wanted to go to the Florida destination guide, I would simply click guide, and then I see all my options over here to the left, and then the expanded options down here in the middle. Now, when we were in preferences, I mentioned items already being checked. You will notice that there are items already checked over here to the left and already checked over here to the right. The check boxes on either side correspond with each other. So if I uncheck potpourri here to the right, potpourri is now unchecked to the left. So it doesn't matter which checkbox you check. Just if you want to share this information with your client, make sure the checkbox is checked. You can click through each item by clicking to the right of that section. So if I want to go down to see and do, I'll click to the right of see and do. If I want to see spectator sports, I'll click to the right of spectator sports. If I want to see shopping, I'll go down to shopping, and et cetera, et cetera. You just keep clicking on the right, and if there's something you don't want to include, you would go ahead and uncheck that either to the right or to the left. I want to keep that in there because I do like that itinerary information. You can also scroll. So if you don't want to click these items, you can also scroll over here in the middle, and you'll be able to navigate the full destination guide right here in the middle. So dining overview, you have safety, tips, do's and don'ts are some of my favorite portions of the site to read. You have your geostats, money, weather, what to wear, communication. Like I said, anything can be added to it or anything can be sent or shared with your clients by making sure that it's checked. So if they're not going to be using any mail and package services, you can go ahead and uncheck that piece of information if you don't want to share it with them. Transportation for more information, and then photo gallery. I will let you guys know we are working on a known bug with the photo gallery. We're trying to ensure that the photos show up on the finished trip plan, and right now they are not. So please bear with us as we get this corrected because we want these beautiful photos to be able to show up in trip plans or in sent information if you want it to be. But right now there is a known bug that we are working on with the photo gallery. So now that I have all this information checked, what can I do with this information? You can either add it to a trip. You can either send this information by clicking quick send, or you can print this information, which basically if you click the printer icon, it will turn all of the information checked into a PDF. So I'm going to I'm going to do all 3 of them so that we can see what they look like. I'm going to click quick print. It will create a PDF for us and be up in our downloadable, kind of browser downloadable history here in just a moment. There it goes. It's already done. So I'm going to go ahead and click on Florida, which you'll notice in browsers, they might be in a different location, but anytime you download a PDF, it's going to go to your browser. So I'm going to click where mine goes, recent download history, and I'm going to click Florida. That will pull up my destination guide. I need to update my settings. Please don't worry about that. That's my browser, not travel42. So you'll see I have 9 pages that I've added with Florida. Now this is a quick print. So you're not going to see the cover photo. You're not going to see the business card. This is just going to be a way to quickly get one destination guide, one hotel, or one cruise out to your clients. So I can scroll through and see all this information that I've added. Perfect. Everything looks great. So if I wanted to print it, I would now look to my browser. So up in the upper right-hand corner, I would see the word print, or I can download it to my computer and then save it to my computer if I wanted to use it for later. Anytime you quick print or quick send something, it is never saved. So once this goes out of Travel 42, you kind of don't have any history on what you did. That's another reason why I like trip plans. So that opened up a separate tab. Now I'm going to go back into Travel 42 and then I can email this information to a client if I wanted to. So quick send Florida. I'm going to select or enter my travelers. So here we go. I've already had my traveler added, which if you're going to send information to a client directly out of Travel 42, they need to have a traveler profile added. You only have to do it once, but they have to have a profile added. I will show you where to go as soon as I get done sending this information. So you'll notice it will send me a copy. I put that there in my preferences. So if you don't want to send yourself a copy, you can uncheck it here, or you can go back to the preferences and uncheck it so that you don't have to uncheck this box each time. The subject, I already put in my preferences, but if I wanted to change it, I can do that right here as well. The preferences, like I said, are just a way to make it easier for you. So you don't have to do any extra typing, any extra clicking. You can just send or print as needed and go on with your day. Here is Florida information. And then you can also, I didn't have a body of the email in my preferences, so I would have to add one each time if I wanted the body of the email, but you can enjoy this information that I have compiled. Oh my goodness. And then you can also format this wording. You can add an image, you can add a link. You can do a lot of things with the body of the email. And then you would click send. Obviously, you can click preview beforehand if you want to see it, but I'm going to show you that here in just a moment. But before I forget, I want to show you where you can add a traveler. So say you get here and you want to send to Christina. Uh-oh, there's not a profile for Christina. What do I do? So you have to add a profile for Christina so that when you type in her name, it populates here. I'm going to go back to the dashboard, scroll all the way to the bottom where you'll see all of your travelers. So I'm going to create Christina Love, clove at AOL.com and create new traveler. So Christina Love has been added and I never have to add her again. Now, when I go to Florida, which I'm now using this top search bar up here, I can send, type in Christina. There we go. Now Christina Love populates. You can also add multiple travelers to be sent. So now I have Christina Love and Larissa Worley that I'm going to be sending this information to. So then you would just click send. Ta-da. Florida was sent to C. Love and L. Worley. So I am good there. The next option is add a trip, but I'm going to do that here in just a moment because I want to show you a little bit more on the research portion. So let's go back to the dashboard. Now we have destination guides. So this search bar is going to be similar to this one, except for the fact that this one is focused more on the destination guide. So let's say Las Vegas. This one will pull me straight to that destination guide. So you'll remember when we used the map, that took me to the related tab because that's showing me all of the destinations around that area. Whereas the specific search for destination guides brings me right to that destination guide. I have more items checked over here. Let's see some of the see and do information. So if I want to pick some specific points of interest, whether that be sightseeing, recreation, nightlife, performing arts, etc., I would scroll down to that specific portion. Let's go to nightlife. Here we go. I've got the overview already checked. We'll click on some of these bars that they are going to want to visit. Now remember, anytime I check something, that is what is going to be shared with your clients. All right, so I'm just going to check a couple things. Let's go back down to dining. I'm going to do cuisines, late night, and steakhouses. Now we'll go to safety, perfect, tips. Let's go down to communication, internet access. We'll add the library in there. And a question just came through. Theater or musical offerings? Yes, that would be in the see and do, and that would be under performing arts. We have a bunch of different points of interest. So all of these are just main headings, and then you can actually dig down a little bit deeper. So if you want to add any sort of live music, you can add all music items. You can uncheck certain ones. Nevada Ballet Theater. We have live theater, opera. We have lots of curated points of interest. And one more thing, this kind of pertains to your question, Bonnie. Bonnie was asking if there are events that you can add so that they can see exactly what's playing while they're visiting. We don't necessarily have it in our system broken down by what live events are happening, but we have an up-to-date list of events powered by W Cities within Travel 42. So within the calendar, you'll see an up-to-date list of events. Click here. I'm going to right click so I can open it in a separate window. This is Event Seeker. So this is going to pick kind of the destination that they are located at that moment. So basically, let's say your client is in Las Vegas and they want to see what events are going on in Las Vegas. You would obviously add this information to their trip plan or send this information to them. When they pull it up either on their phone or on their laptop, they'll click here in the trip plan or the information that you're sending. And then they'll see Discover Events in Las Vegas because that is where they are at that moment. Right now, I'm in Clemens, so I am seeing Discover Events in Clemens. Now, you can also search for information, but this will go based on where you are located. So then they'll be able to see exactly what's going on at any given time, day, whatever it may be. Now, Event Seeker breaks it down by concerts, theater, sports, arts, and museum dance. This is what your client is actually going to see when they pull up that click here link. So that is something that is very helpful, and that's something newer that we just got added into Travel 42. So I'm going to go back to my guide. You'll notice all of these tabs are up. Anytime you click certain links, it'll just open up a new tab so you can always go back to your Travel 42 website. All right, so the calendar is added, and then the casino listings are added as well. Photo gallery as well. They're absolutely beautiful, and we are working on getting these updated so that they will be attached to your trip plan. So thank you for your patience in that. So I am done with Las Vegas. Now let's go in and actually create a trip plan. So you will see up here at the top, you have no current working trip. I can either select a trip or add this information to a trip. They both do exactly the same thing. So I'm going to click Add to Trip. I don't want to add it to one I've already done. I want to simply create a new trip. All you need to create a trip plan is a title. You don't need anything else. So if you are in a big hurry and you think that it takes too long to create a trip plan, it doesn't. Simply type in the trip plan name, Las Vegas trip, save trip. I've created a trip plan and I have added all the checked items from Las Vegas, Nevada into that trip. You will also see this has changed. You are now working in trip Las Vegas trip. Awesome. If I decided, you know what, I do have a little bit of time, I want to add some more information to the trip plan, you can click Edit Trip Details. That will pull up that modal that we just created the trip plan with, and then you can add travelers, especially prepared for. There's that suggested retail price again. So if I would have put a number in the preferences, it would have populated here. But since I deleted it, it doesn't show up at all. So you can add information to here. So select or enter travelers. We'll put Larissa, and then we'll put Christine because she's going to go. Oh, did I not do Chris? Oh, Christina. My apologies. Christina Love. Especially prepared for, if you wanted to make it more personable for both of them, you could say Larissa and Christina. You could put bachelorette party, you could put wedding party. That's just basically, especially prepared for, as a way for it to make it more personable for your clients, as opposed to being just first and last name, first and last name. Suggested retail price, that's whatever price point you want to put in there. I believe we have the generic 29.95. Departure dates and return dates. Let's go ahead and do that. They're going to be leaving May 25th, and they're going to be coming back May 31st. Now remember, all of this is optional. So I am taking a little bit longer to create this trip plan, but you only have to have the name. Now, comments displayed to clients or trip notes not displayed to clients. You have one or you can put both of that information in there, but always remember comments are displayed, trip notes are not displayed. Layout. These are some options that you have with this trip plan. So in the preferences, when we had the cover page, show trip summary, include business card and cover page image, you have those same options here. So if you decided you don't want your business card added, uncheck it. If you don't want the table of contents, if you don't want the cover page, or if you just don't want the cover image, make sure that is checked to hide the cover page image. This is the cover page image that is currently used for my trip plan. This is based on the destination guide that I've added. If you wanted to change the image, you can either upload an image or post an image from a URL. I like this image, so I'm going to keep it. But if you saw the image and you were like, I can do a better image, definitely upload a new image or copy a URL of an image that you want to use. So I'm going to go ahead and save this trip because I'm good with all of that. Now we're going to go to the hotels tab because we know they're going to Las Vegas, but now I need to add some hotels that they can look at. Now with travel42, this is a tool that can be used to help your clients plan trips. So you can add multiple destinations, you can add multiple hotels just so that they can kind of pick and choose or get ideas where to go or what hotel to stay at. You can also send this to them once they have already planned their, or once you, excuse me, have already planned the trip for them. So once they have everything finalized, you can then add that one destination guide or the one hotel that they're going to be staying at. So it's totally up to you where you want to come in with this. So again, with these check boxes, if I were to check the checkbox, that hotel would then be added to my Las Vegas trip because that is the trip plan that I am currently working on. If you want to pick and choose the items within the hotel to display to your clients, that's when you would click on that hotel information so you can see exactly what is within this hotel listing. So this hotel has everything checked, which is what I assigned it to in the preferences. If you wanted to uncheck rates and policies, if you wanted to uncheck meeting facilities, wonderful. Remember, anything that is checked is going to be sent or printed or copy URL to your clients. So I'm going to go ahead and click add to trip because I want to add this hotel to my trip plan. Now I'm going to go back to the hotels tab by clicking on the breadcrumbs up here in the left-hand corner. Now, if you want to filter the hotels, say you have a hotel in mind that your clients want to go to, but you only know the first letter of the hotel. You can type that in up here in the upper left-hand corner and hotel name contains. We also have hotel chains that you can filter by, ratings and review, hotel preferences, meal plan offers, location, hotel type, and then number of rooms. So all of those can filter down to what you are specifically looking for in Travel42. So if we're going to go into map view, which is another way to see some of these hotels, you'll click map view. It'll direct you to that destination or that specific area you're searching for. And these numbers pertain to how many hotels are within that location. So I'm going to go ahead and click on one. We'll go into the Royal Resort. So there's the Royal Resort. If I wanted to drag this over and kind of see some other hotels, I'd just exit out of this. Conrad Las Vegas. If you wanted to add it to the trip plan, simply click the checkbox. And if you're dragging things around and you don't see any numbers populate, click this little button up here, search this map area. You might just need to refresh it so it knows exactly what area you are looking for besides what you checked. So all of these ones pertain to a specific hotel. You just simply click on it to pull up that hotel. And if you actually want to dig into it, click on the name. and it'll pull up that hotel for you so you can then add it to your trip plan if you want to make any deletions from what is suggested. So I will take rates and policies and meeting facilities, and I'm going to add that one to my trip plan. Let's go back to the hotels tab. Think we're good here. So now what we want to do is go into, oh, one thing before I change topics. Sort by, which is something that I picked in the preferences tab. So I would click on sort by, and then you can do it by star rating, which is what I had put in my preferences, amenity rating, name, price high, price low, city, commission, and distance. So any of those you can change while you're here, but if you account for it in preferences, then it will going forward only show you that sort rating. So you don't have to click on this each time to change it. If you are done with your trip plan and you wanted to go in and send it, print it, download it, whatever you wanted to do with this trip plan, that is what this blue dot is for over here to the right. You will also see this on the dashboard beside your trip plans. If you click on this little button, you have some options. You can clear working trip, which it will already be saved, so it's not going to clear it and delete it. You can select a different trip if you're done working in this trip, or you can start a brand new trip. You can also view trip details. Let's see what that one does. Oh, duh. Oh my goodness. View trip details. That pulls up your trip plan and actually shows you everything that's in this trip plan. You'll see again, that little circle is still up here in the upper right-hand corner. So I can then edit, send, print, preview, copy client URL, view travelers, view send history, duplicate, or delete. Duplicate does just that. It deletes this exact trip plan so you can reuse it. So what I tell a lot of travel advisors, if there is one specific trip that your clients like to go on, say there's something you specialize in, go ahead and create one trip plan with all of that information already saved. You can then duplicate it and then rename it and re-add travelers to that same trip plan. All right, so for Las Vegas trip, I have one destination guide saved, I have two hotels saved, and I have 58 see and do items saved. We also have custom places that you can add. So if there's something within if there's something you want to share with your clients that's not in Travel42, that's what this is for. All you need is a place name and a place type, which we have a list of them for you. But you can also add the address, phone number, website, and then some information about that custom place. So that's if it's not included in Travel42, that's the way you can add it in there. Organize does just that. It allows you to drag and drop the items in your trip plan as how you want them to be shown to your clients. So I like the way this is set up. Las Vegas Destination Guide shows up first, then Aria, then Spring Hill Suites. So that's how the order will show up for your clients. Preview is just that. It allows you that you can preview a trip plan. So this, like I said, I have everything saved. I have my headshot, my logo, my cover photo, especially prepared for traveling on, and then my business card. So if you get here and you decide, I don't want the cover photo or I don't want my business card anymore, click edit details, go to layout, and then you can hide cover page, show cover page. You can delete any of those things if you want. Then we'll go into our trip summary, our destination guide. Now remember, this is just a preview, so I'm seeing it before I actually share it with the clients. So everything looks great. So then we put in kind of an easy option for you to send. If you wanted to send it, just click send. It'll automatically put my travelers in there. So then all I have to do is just click send. If you wanted to print it or copy the URL, that's where this little bubble over to the right comes in. If you click on that, you can print, download, preview, which is the same thing we're doing right now. But if you wanted to click the button, you definitely could. Copy client URL, which literally will do that. Copy a URL that you can then share in an email or however you want to share it with your clients, and it'll pull up that trip plan for them by a URL. So that's how the trip plan works. Let's see. I'm going to go back to the dashboard because we have a couple more things to look into. So hotels. If I just wanted to do a trip plan based on hotels, what I did, I clicked on advanced search. So if you know the name of the hotel, perfect. Go ahead and type it in right here. So if I wanted to find Couple Sansucci, awesome. There's Couple Sansucci. I can get right to it and add it to my trip plan. If you're not sure what hotel your clients are going to be staying at, you're kind of planning stuff for them. You can click advanced search. You can filter down hotels here by the chain or ratings and reviews. So let's click here. We'll do 5-star, apply filters, meal plan offers, all inclusive, location. They want to go to a beach. Hotel type, don't need that number of rooms. Okay, so perfect. So this gives you a list of hotels all over the world that might have the filters that you're looking for. So here's one. Let's go ahead and click on Couples Negril. This one's in Jamaica. Perfect. Everything looks good. So if I wanted to add this to a trip, say I wanted to add some different hotel options for my clients, what I could do is click on this right here and clear working trip or start new trip. Because if I click add to trip right now, it's going to add it to the Las Vegas trip, which is what I don't want. So you need to tell travel42, hey, I want to start a new trip and add this to a new trip. So we'll title it Jamaica Hotels. This one is only for Larissa. This one's going to be pretty simple because she's still trying to find the hotel she's going to be staying at. So we'll go ahead and save trip. So now it says remove from trip. So if I clicked remove from trip, it would remove everything I just added from that trip plan. So I want to find hotels that are near to this one so that she can pick which hotel she wants. So we'll go into nearby hotels, and then we have 13 that are nearby. So let's go ahead. We'll add this hotel, Hotel RAU Palace, this hotel. We'll add in this one. And you can also filter down by adults only as well. We'll do this one. So see all of these hotels you'll see at the bottom, they are being added into that trip plan. So I've got multiple hotels now added into this trip plan. All right, and I think that's enough for her to make a decision. So let's view trip details. I want to see what we have. So we have 8 hotels. Perfect. So we can organize this. So what I recommend here, if you have a hotel that you prefer them to book over the others, definitely drag that one to the very top and then slowly start to filter in from there. So you can move whatever hotel you want to show up first, second, third, fourth, fifth, etc., etc. Now we'll click preview. We have our cover photo, our hotels, trip summary, and there we go. There is everything added to my trip plan. Oh, maybe the photos are working. Here we go. Our developers might have already fixed that. Excuse me if I spoke too soon. Here's our hotels, all the ones that we've added. So what you can do now is send this to Larissa. Perfect. I'm going to send it. Now she can look at all of those hotels that I just sent her. If she comes back and says, you know what, I found the hotel I want to go to, I don't want to see the rest. So she decided she wanted to go to Beaches and a Grill. So I'm going to go ahead and delete all the other ones. Click that little trash can over to the right. And that other little icon, that's for comments. So if you wanted to leave a specific comment on a hotel, that's where you would do that, is that little icon to the left of the trash can. All right, so now I've deleted all those hotels. So now in her trip plan, if she were to open it, she would only see this one hotel. But I want to add her in some information on Negril because now that she's going to Negril for sure, she needs to know some information about it. So I'm going to type in Negril up here at the top in the search bar. Click on it in the drop down. You can also click the magnifying glass if you want to see the full list of destinations that match that name. So I am working in Jamaica Hotels, which is the trip plan I am for sure working in. Now I can go through and pick and choose the items that I want to share. Awesome. Golf, hiking. Wonderful. Now the relate, oh, I didn't add it. Oh my goodness. See, thank goodness for that little pop-up. So if I was done and wanted to add this information to my trip plan, I need to remember to click the add to trip. So Negril has been added to the Jamaica Hotels trip plan. Next, I can go to the related tab. We can add the Jamaica destination guide as a whole. I'm going to go ahead and add that one. You'll notice that the city guides, that's where you're going to see the points of interest. The country guides themselves, those are going to have just kind of overview information until you narrow it down into the city guides. All right, so I'm good with this. I've added the destinations into that hotel. So now, If I sent this trip plan to her previously, which I did, she'll be able to see all of these changes in real time on her end. So I'm going to click View Trip Details. She'll be able to see the two destination guides, Negril, Jamaica and Jamaica, the one hotel, and six see and do. If I wanted to add a custom place, remember you can click Custom Place, Organize. Oh, I want to change the name, Edit Details, because it's not just Jamaica Hotels anymore. It's Jamaica Vacation. Save trip. So all of these changes she's seen. Now, if you did a PDF and emailed a PDF to them, these changes would not be saved on their end. So you would need to go in and do another PDF by clicking print or download. But if you sent it or copied the client URL, all of these changes are going to be reflected on their end so that you won't have to resend or reprint anything. So here's our cover photo, Beaches Negril, Negril Jamaica, and then we've got Jamaica. So that trip plan is done. View travelers, view send history. So once you start sending this information, you'll be able to see the send history. So you'll see L. Worley, I sent it to that person on this date, this time. They haven't viewed it yet, but I can resend and show activity should I need to see what they've done with the trip plan. Okay, so back to the dashboard. Let's look at some cruise information. So all of your trip plans, you'll notice are down here. So if ever you need to resend something, reprint something, that's what this bubble is for. This is your action items for the trip plans. So let's go into cruise. So you have a couple of options with cruise. You can search by cruise destination, cruise line, cruise ship, cruise length, cruise dates, departure port. So I'm going to do destination and we're going to go to the Bahamas and I'm going to click search. This will pull up my cruise schedules that go to the Bahamas. So now you can filter down even further if you needed to, or if you found one specific one that you liked, you could go ahead and click into that trip plan. You'll select your departure date. So let's say they're going on April 25th, and I want to include the destination guides for the ports they're going to be going to. Oh, I added them to I added them to Jamaica Vacation, which I mentioned earlier. You have to make sure this is the trip plan you want to be adding it to. So I'm going to start a new trip. I'm going to title this one Cruise Vacation. Save trip. And then we'll add these ports in there as well. So they're going to be going to Fort Lauderdale, Key West, Bimini, and then back to Fort Lauderdale. So everything here is added for the April 25th, 2025 sailing. We have the line overview. You have your cabins. So if you wanted to remove any of these cabins, say they're not going to be staying at certain ones, of course, you can take those away. Once you've added it to a trip plan, simply unchecking the boxes will remove it from that trip plan. You don't have to click anything else besides unchecking the boxes. So we're good here. Let's go into cruise vacation, make sure everything looks right. Perfect Fort Lauderdale, Florida, Key West, and Bimini, Bahamas. We need to do one thing though. I need to add the hotel that they're going to be staying at before they get on the cruise. Hilton, Fort Lauderdale, Marina. Perfect. This is the hotel that they're going to be staying at. So I'm working in cruise vacation. I need to make sure I remember that and then add to trip. So that has now been added. Then I can go back into my trip. So you can either click view trip details or actually click on the name of the trip plan to get into that trip plan. So I'm going to click cruise vacation. And then here we go. This is my collection. So Key West, Florida, Fort Lauderdale, Florida, Key West, Florida, and Bimini, Bahamas. I have my one hotel and my cruise. Custom place, if you wanted to, you could add the flight into the custom place. Now it is manual. You would have to type in the information, but if you wanted to do that as well, you could. So here we go. Of course, this looks like it's in the right order. So 3-night Bahamas, Fort Lauderdale, Key West, Bimini, and then Hilton, Fort Lauderdale Marina. So if they were going to go to Hilton, Fort Lauderdale Marina first, you could drag that to the very top, but I'm going to keep it at the bottom because I want them to see the cruise first. Then we'll go to preview. We have our ship. It looks beautiful, but if you decided, hey, I really would rather have a picture of the beach there, of course, you can go back here, edit details, layout, and then upload or put an image from a URL. So right now that's the cover photo that's being used, or you don't have to do the cover photo at all. You would just click hide cover page image, save trip, and the cover photo is gone. So it's totally up to you if you want to show the cover photo or your business card or the trip summary. Those are all optional things. And then, of course, all of the information that I've added. So here we can send or we can print download or copy client URL, paste that URL. And here we go. No cover photo, but I have my celebrity silhouette cruise, the dates that they're going to be going to which port, all the information that they need for this cruise vacation. Now let's go back here. We're going to go to the dashboard because I want to give you guys, or I saw some questions come through, so I do want to ask some questions. But before I end, I'm going to put on my profile so you guys have my email address and then my phone number as well. Best email address, of course, is this one. Phone number, I know my cell phone is here. I would prefer the office phone, the 336-714-3321, because the voicemails are managed a lot better with that one than they are with my cell phone. So definitely try to reach out to me on my office. I'm going to go ahead and end the recording. Give me one moment.